Okay, these are all the bulbs I ordered from AliExpress for my 2016 Nissan Leaf. And we're going to swap them out and see how we do. I'm going to start with the simplest ones here. Okay, here's my 2016 Leaf. It's an SL model, and we're going to start by going for the dome light there. And it just basically pops open, and this comes down, and we're just going to pop out. The bulb there is just held by tension, so we're going to pop it out and pop one in the other one. Alright, I popped in the new bulb, and we'll just switch it to the on position, and there we go. It's working. Next bulb will be back here in the trunk, and we'll remove this out of the way here just so I can work a little easier. And fortunately this one stays on, so I'm going to use a screwdriver just to help pop it out and not burn my hand. This one's a little different. You kind of pop it out, and a very hot bulb is hiding in there, so we need to get this. I'll unplug this with a screwdriver and then let it cool down a second. Okay, this comes off really easy, and then all we're going to do is swap this in there. Make sure that the bright part is facing out, and we'll give it a try. There we go, it popped in very easily. Move on to the next light bulbs. Okay, next I will do the side marker lights, where I think we just use these wedge bulbs here, and we'll take a pop at that. Okay, so again, this is a 2016, so the headlights are actually already LED, so I won't be replacing those. But right here behind the headlights is the turn signal and the marker lights. So first I'm going to do the marker lights, which is right here. And these just simply untwist and pop out, and there it is. I'm just going to pop that out and put the new one in. Okay, so we're just going to do, I did one side, and I'm going to do the other just this time. The whole thing under here, so you simply go under here, you twist to the left, comes right out like that, then the bulb is just pushed in, and then you just get the new bulb. I'm doing this one-handed. Get the new bulb and just push it in there. Just like that, and then you simply put it back in to the hole where it came from. There, twist to the right, and it should work perfectly. And there we go. Those are the side marker lights right here. Notice that the yellow is being made by that, so you actually can order those white, which I did. Next, we will do the turn signals, which are up here. You see that amber bulb in there. So this one's not too bad either. Just come around, and there it is over there. You just grab it and turn it to the left, and it pops out. It's pretty much just like any other car bulb you've ever done. And this one, I'll use two hands for this. This one's just a tension fit as well. You just pull it out. And let me go get the replacement bulb. For the front bulbs, I ordered these premium bulbs here that were a little nicer, so let's give these a try. And they seem like they have a pretty good approximation of the other ones. Unfortunately, these bulbs were seemed like they were a fail because it was hyper flashing. I'm going to test it here. I turned that on and it's flashing like crazy, but I'm not sure. Is the bulb actually getting power? Let me turn off my light. It may not actually be plugged in. So one trick with these bulbs is you need to sometimes flip them around. Unplug them, flip them around, then they'll work. I've noticed that with many of these bulbs I've ordered. We are unfortunately hyper flashing, so sometimes what you have to do is you can either add a resistor, which I have not usually done, or I'll find the what's called the relay in there for the turn signal and replace it with an aftermarket one that can handle it if the car supports that. My Honda did. My Mazda did not. I don't know about Nissan, but it is a little annoyance that I've kind of just gotten used to on some of the other cars anyway. License plate. For the license plate lights, you'll want to note there's one there and one over there. So you got two panels you got to take off and replace the bulbs. So this one's fairly easy. You just push this clip down and pull down, and then this untwists. Untwists, and then this comes out, and there's just simple it's a simple push-in bulb, just like the front marker lights, no different. Okay, and there they are, turned on, looking good. Oh, looks like one needs to be pushed in the other orientation, so it's not turned on. Okay, next we're going to tackle the rear turn signals, which are up here, and the backup lights, which are just below it, and they're clear. So getting this off did require a bit of force. After you remove the 3 bolts, which is straightforward, you basically just have to kind of pull out, and there's the little, tab that goes in there. Unfortunately, I did snap one over there, but the one up here is okay. I don't know how easy these would be to replace. See if I can buy a replacement one. Turn signal replacement is pretty straightforward. Just untwist, pop out, and pop out the other one. It's just a push in with the new one. And the new one is a little bit longer, so I did have to unclip the main wire from its clip temporarily, which you can put back in later. The reverse light is a little smaller. It's also a pop in, so I'll just pop into the new one here. Now do note the backup lights are supposed to be a little brighter, so these are the same kind of push-in lights as the small bulbs up front, but I ordered a little nicer one here. You will have to unclip this because it's a little longer to get it in the first place, so then you can reclip it afterward. So basically it just pushes in. Make sure you test all these before you put this back on, since it's such a pain in the butt to get back on. Here's the difference between the old backup light and the new backup light. The new one's on the right, and the old one's on the left. So even that, you can see the difference, quite noticeable. The amount of force required to remove this is insane. To get it popped off and try not to break anything. Even once you got the bolts off, just those poppers are just really stuck on there. If you pry it with a screwdriver, you end up breaking one like on the other one. So I'm trying to do this, but it's just such a hard pulling. There's no place to grab and everything. Should be noted that I ended up with 2 extra bulbs. I probably just ordered 2 extra ones, or I wasn't sure. So when you saw the total at the beginning, that's what we got. Now also note, I did not change the fog lights and the high beams. I did not change those because I do not use them a lot. I believe that is the high beam. I just left that at standard incandescent. I just don't use it that much. And the fog lights also down here, I think these are the fog lights. I don't use them, so I just didn't want to bother changing them out. You can order those. They're a little more pricey too, but usually like 20 bucks or something for a pack from China. Okay, footnote. Apparently I missed one bulb. Next to the high beams over here, that's the high beams. Over there, it's just another push bulb. And it took me a while to figure out how to get to it. The manual is not that detailed. So it is not this thing over here, which I actually ended up snapping a little bit off. The secret is this giant round cover here, which you have to twist. That opens up where that silly bulb is. And then, let's see, I believe this will just be a untwist. Yeah, just an untwist push-in bulb. I just ran out, so I'm going to have to order that. I'm going to have to order 2 more of those. But that should be what you need to complete this. Okay, here's the final result with all the bulbs replaced, including which is not on. It's a marker light. So also let me get the marker lights on and the hazard lights on so you see those. Okay, this time I had to change the orientation on those lights, and now they work. Sorry about the glare, but they're all working now, and beautiful, beautiful. And we'll turn the hazard lights on here. Very nice, very nice. Much nicer. Marker lights are on good. Look at the back. Turn signals are good. Brake lights were already LED, didn't have to change them.